Tonight on Eagle Eye News at 6. All the results from SGA elections and what's next for newly elected officials. Plus, an exclusive interview with Campus Safety and Security about the use of AU Alert. These stories and more ahead on Auburn's News Leader. Good evening and welcome to Eagle Eye News at 6. I'm Stephen Dinan.
And I'm Kaylee Bishop.
SGA results are in, and a new president, vice president, treasurer, and Miss Auburn have been decided. The 2019 president is Mary Margaret Turton. Her platform included plans for increasing dining options, a more efficient basketball ticketing system, and a single centralized smartphone app for all things related to the university and campus life.
Turton got 44.27% of the vote, enough to avoid going into a runoff. Eagle Eye sat down with Turton just moments after she was elected.
This title is one that I don't take lightly. I'm absolutely humbled and so excited to be able to represent the student voice in this way. We have based this entire campaign and this entire platform on all students and really emphasizing their voice and what their Auburn experience is going to be. And that is something that I hope to carry into this year. And the stories that we've heard on the concourse this past week has 100% reinforced why I wanted to do this. And so that's something I don't want to lose sight of, hearing those stories and then being able to listen more than we act. So that way when we do act, it's for the best of all students.
The 2019 SGA Vice President is Carlos Smith. As President of the Student Senate, Smith campaigned on goals of unifying the Senate, the Cabinet, increasing awareness for on-campus student resources, and focusing on racial equality issues. He got 63.1% of the overall vote.
The 2019 treasurer is Hunter Short. Short will be responsible for managing the SGA budget. He campaigned with goals of making SGA more transparent, getting students input on where to allocate student fees, and increasing financial literacy. Short won with 51.19% of the vote.
And the 2019 Miss Auburn is Laura Davenport. She will be the face of Auburn University and work closely with the War Eagle girls in Plainsman. She earned 26.63% of the vote.
Both referendums on the ballot also passed. Amendment 1 focused on cleaning up language in the SGA Code of Conduct.
Amendment 2 will change the way future SGA elections work by completely eliminating runoff elections. In the current system, if no candidate gets over 40% of the vote, the top two candidates go to a runoff where students vote a second time.
The new system will have students rank their preferences on candidates for SGA president, vice president, and treasurer. This system would use the second and third choice votes to determine a winner in the case of a runoff.
Students will still be able to just vote for one candidate if they'd like.
An Auburn High School student is facing repercussions today after posting a picture of herself in blackface with a racist caption on Snapchat. The picture then went viral on social media. The student has not been identified by Auburn City Schools.
The school district has released a statement saying they have been made aware of an inappropriate post on social media made by a student at Auburn High School. Upon completion of a thorough investigation, the appropriate measures will be taken.
The student later apologized, sending out a message over Snapchat, writing in part, "What I posted on my private story was not intended to offend anyone, and after posting it, I realized it was wrong and shouldn't have said it at all. It was a mistake on my part, and I regret saying it, but I can't take it back now."
Eagle Eye TV sat down with campus safety officials this week to hear more about why there was no AU alert sent out to students and faculty last month during a police pursuit that ended in an arrest on campus.
We, in hindsight, could have sent something out to the campus sooner. It wasn't an immediate threat, and so I think that's where our minds were when making a decision about sending it. But we understand in hindsight that people were frightened and confused about what was going on, and so we could have gotten our message out there sooner.
Yes, just as Susan was saying, I think in hindsight we would err on the side of being overly cautious. Although there is not a danger to the campus or to the students, the staff, or those who are visiting campus on that particular day, I think it's important to communicate that there is nothing to be concerned about.
For the full interview, head over to our website, eagleeyeauburn.com.
After the break, relive the men's basketball team's victory over Florida.
You're watching Eagle Eye TV, Auburn's news leader.
Open road, here comes the Heffley family.
Whether it's a short trip or a long haul,
Estimated time 47 hours.
they will beg.
You're hungry? I'm happy to provide.
They will plead.
Deep fried butter on a stick.
But whatever you do, don't wimp out.
Now you're talking.
Make them buckle up.
He can't hurt.
Remember, safety first. Cheese curls second.
Are you orange?
After a cold streak where the Tigers dropped 3 in a row and seemed to lose a step defensively, the Tigers welcomed the Florida Gators into Auburn Arena Tuesday for a matchup the Tigers hadn't won at home since 1999.
Auburn Basketball came into last night's contest against Florida not having beaten the Gators at home since 1999. They're also looking to keep up their 2-game winning streak. Early in the game, Bryce Brown would find his groove as he would lead the way with 14 points for all scorers. Austin Wiley saw some game action as he got in for the first time in a few weeks as a leg injury has cost him his past few games. Now both Jared Harper and Juma Okeke went down within the opening minutes. Jared went down with an ankle sprain and Juma Okeke with what Bruce Pearl described as a hip injury, but both would return to play as Okeke would finish with 11 points and 8 rebounds. Samir Dowdy had himself a game. While Harper was hobbled, he played well on both ends of the floor, finishing with 12 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 steals. Jared Harper, even though it was obvious he was not 100%, would go on to finish with 8 points and 3 assists in 27 minutes of play. Now, Auburn was on fire defensively as they forced Florida to 17 turnovers and using those turnovers to start big plays and fire up momentum swings as dunks by both Bryce Brown and Horace Spencer got the crowd involved. Malik Dunbar would hit an and-one three-pointer which started Auburn's biggest run of the night, putting the Gators away midway through the second half. Now, like we stated earlier, this dunk here by Horace Spencer really provided a big momentum shift for the Tigers as they would put them away early in the second half. Now the win moves Auburn to 16-6 overall and 5-4 in conference as they head to Baton Rouge to take on LSU in a conference showdown on Saturday at 1 o'clock on ESPN2. For Eagle Eye TV, I'm Hayden Desmond.
Auburn Gymnastics has been on an absolute tear this season as they currently sit 6-0 overall and look to extend their streak to 7 as they head to Gainesville to take on the Florida Gators tonight. The Tigers sit at number 12 in the country, while the Gators sit at number 2. Auburn and Florida are the only 2 teams in the SEC that remain unbeaten, and Friday will leave only 1 standing. Auburn softball looks to have just as a successful season as Coach Mickey Dean's first season. Last season, the Tigers went 41-17, which included a 15-0 start, tied for the best in program history. They opened their season this weekend with a tournament in Gulf Shores, Alabama, with 2 games on Friday against Tennessee State and Western Kentucky in the Sand Dollar Classic. After the break, a popular music festival is back with new performers. You're watching Eagle Eye TV, Auburn's news leader.
I believe that this is a practical world.
And that I can count only on what I earn.
Therefore, I believe in work.
Hard work.
I believe in education,
which gives me the knowledge to work wisely
and trains my mind and my hands to work skillfully.
I believe in honesty and truthfulness,
without which I cannot win.
The respect and confidence of my fellow men.
I believe in a sound mind
and a sound body
and a spirit that is not afraid.
Not afraid.
And in clean sports
that develop these qualities.
I believe in obedience to law
because it protects the rights of all.
I believe in the human touch,
which cultivates sympathy with my fellow men.
And mutual helpfulness, and brings happiness for all.
For all.
I believe in my country.
Because it is a land of freedom.
And because it is my own home.
and that I can best serve that country.
By doing justly,
loving mercy,
and walking humbly with my God.
And because Auburn men
and women
believe in these things.
I believe in Auburn.
I believe in Auburn.
I believe in Auburn.
I believe in Auburn. I love it.
Even the best of us forget sometimes. But buckling up is one thing you always want to remember.
Seatbelts save lives. Drive safe, Alabama. A message from your Alabama Department of Transportation.
In a busy Student Center ballroom this weekend, students from across the country competed in a unique type of competition.
Over 200 students were on the plains this weekend for the first ever Auburn Hacks, an overnight ethical computer hacking and invention marathon competition.
And so a hackathon, a lot of people kind of think it's like has something to do with cybersecurity, but it's more of something like they use this term like an invention marathon, and so that's building something from like a mobile application or like some kind of Raspberry Pi kind of device. We got a lot of positive feedback from people saying like this is probably one of the coolest things they've ever been to. Like it was really fun, really exciting, and honestly, like having worked on it for like a whole year, that's really encouraging, and like for our team to hear that, like it's really good for them to hear that. So.
Well, I've participated in some programming competitions in the past. But never before a 24-hour hackathon where the result was one final project. So basically that experience of coming together and making one final thing was really appealing to me.
Auburn Hacks partnered with Major League Hacking to plan and execute the event. The national organization puts on hundreds of hackathons each year and has resources for students interested in careers in computer science.
Just seeing how like well people reacted, right? So over like the whole past year, we like planning this. It was like this abstract idea. Like I don't know if people are gonna like react to this or not, but like they really liked it, and so that was like really rewarding. Just bringing people out here and just like showing them like like that computer science is something that you can really have like build a genuine passion for, and just getting them to be able to make a community and make friends like and meet new people here, right? I think that was like sort of the goal. I think we can accomplish that. So.
Ing says they are already planning to attend next year's event and are looking to attend several other schools' events to draw some inspiration.
Alpha Psi Rodeo is back this year, with the music festival announcing the headlining artists on Thursday morning. Riley Green and Corey Smith will be performing at the rodeo on April 6th. Rodeo has been put on by Alpha Psi for 58 years. It is known as the largest amateur rodeo in the Southeast. Proceeds from the event benefit several local organizations, including the Auburn College of Veterinary Medicine, Storybook Farms, and the Lee County Special Olympics.
Auburn University Dance Marathon is this Saturday in the Auburn Student Center Ballroom. Eagle Eye TV met up with AUDM member Katie Reese to hear more about this Saturday's main event.
This Saturday, we're having main event in the Student Center. It'll start at 10 a.m. And it will finish at 12 a.m. Throughout the day, we will have different events. We have a hypnotist coming this year, really exciting. And then we also have different dancing throughout the event. Lots of different meals. We have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, as well as late night Waffle House. Really excited about that. And then, like I said, just lots of miracle families will be there, and they'll be talking about what they've gone through and what our money that we've raised does to help them.
Students can register until 10 a.m. Saturday at audancemarathon.com.
Auburn Theater's spring play is opening next week. Big Fish tells the story of the relationship between a father and son. And Auburn alum Ben Strickland plays the lead role as Edward Bloom. He sat down with Eagle Eye TV to discuss his role.
The director of the show and the chair of the department for theater here, Chase Braingardner, he messaged me and told me he wanted to give me a proposition. He said, we were thinking about doing this musical. How would you feel about coming back and performing with us again in this show? I was like, okay, what's the show? He said, it's Big Fish. And the funny thing is I remember Big Fish, the movie. I never knew they made a musical out of it. And so I remember looking up the musical and listening to it and thinking, this music's absolutely beautiful. I would kill to sing anything in this show. So I was like, yes, yes, take me back, yes. And so he said, all right, I'll get back to you if things go through. He talked it out with the department. Paperwork was signed, and then I came back January of this year to start rehearsals with them. The show is about a man and his son. I play Edward Bloom, the man, and Edward Bloom he's an interesting character. He is a tall tale teller, I guess would be the best way to describe it. He's larger than life. And Edward has spent his entire life telling his son these grandiose stories about his life and his past. But his son is more grounded in what's true, what's real. He loves Greek mythology, he loves science, he loves reading, he loves anything that he can get out of an actual book rather than something his dad's made up. And the story kind of goes back and forth between multiple eras, multiple timelines. Sometimes it's in Edward's fantasy world of what his life is like. Sometimes it's in the real world where problems actually do exist and it's hard to solve them. And the whole show kind of goes through this arc of trying to deal with the issues and the struggles of their relationship and how they resolve them in the end.
Big Fish begins next Thursday and runs until February 24th. Tickets are free for students and $12 for the general public.
This week's Pet of the Week is Simon. Eagle Eye TV headed to the Humane Society to hear what makes Simon a real catch.
Hi, I'm Eva Brandon here at Lee County Humane Society with our Pet of the Week, Simon.
He is about 2 years old. He's already neutered, microchipped, he's had all of his vaccines, and he's ready to find his forever home this week.
Yeah, Simon is really the goofiest dog. He has so much energy once you get him outside. He loves to play with tennis balls, he loves to dig, and then once he gets all that energy out, you sit down and he's a cuddle bug. He comes into your lap, he gives you kisses, and he just wants pets. That's all he wants to do.
We love having him here at the Humane Society, but of course we want him to find his forever home too. So we're really hopeful that he'll go to a home that's going to be able to match his energy level, but also let him be a couch potato when he needs to be.
And what time could someone come by to see Simon?
We're open from 12 to 5 p.m. Tuesday through Sunday, so you can come by and fill out an application, and then we can take Simon out for a walk.
Awesome, thank you.
Simon is available for adoption at the Lee County Humane Society.
After the break, one of Valentine's Day's iconic traditions won't be making a return this year. See which one up next.
You're watching Eagle Eye TV, Auburn's news leader.
I believe this is a practical world and that I can count only on what I earn. Therefore, I believe in work, hard work.
I believe in education, which gives me the knowledge to work wisely and trains my mind and my hands to work skillfully.
I believe in honesty and truthfulness, without which I cannot win the respect and confidence of my fellow men.
I believe in a sound mind, in a sound body, in a spirit that is not afraid, and in a clean sport that develops these qualities.
I believe in obedience to the law because it protects the rights of all. I believe in human touch, which cultivates sympathy with my fellow men and mutual helpfulness and brings happiness for all.
I believe in my country because it is a land of freedom and because it is my home, and that I can best serve that country by doing justly, loving mercy, and walking humbly with my God.
And because Auburn men and women believe in these things, I believe in Auburn and love it.
For those wishing to tell their cutie pie to be mine, you'll have to do it without the help of Candy Hearts this year. The New England Candy Company, who made Sweethearts for nearly 100 years, went out of business in July 2018.
The rights to making the Candy Hearts was bought by Spangler Candy Company last fall, but they did not have enough time to start production of the hearts. Spangler CEO Kirk Vashaw said the company is looking to relaunch the popular candy in 2020, and added that it takes 11 months to make enough hearts to meet the demand.
Nearly 8 billion candies are sold in a 6-week period surrounding Valentine's Day.
That's all we have for you tonight. Be sure to tune in with us every Thursday and check our website out, eagleeyeauburn.com, for all the latest Auburn headlines. I'm Kaylee Bishop.
And I'm Stephen Dinan. Thanks for joining us, and War Eagle.
Recently, our country has witnessed catastrophic devastation. Hurricanes and flooding have upended lives and livelihoods.
Across this great country, Americans have answered the call. A special calling that compels us.
Yeah.